Hello and welcome to another video from Midas Touch Toys, Games and Collectibles. And today we are looking at something fairly old and quite exciting. Well, quite exciting for me because I think this item is fabulous. And it's from one of my favourite, well, my favourite television series from when I was a child. So we are looking at today the 1994 release by Playmates from their Star Trek Classic series of accessories. And this particular item we're looking at today is of the Classic Communicator, as it appeared in the original television series of Star Trek. Okay, so this is the box that it comes in, and it says Classic Star Trek Classic Communicator, Starfleet Standard Communication Device. It says press here to activate communicator sounds, which we'll do that shortly. It says includes 3 classic communicator sounds: opening actuation sounds, hailing and high frequency, working signal lights, flip up metallized antenna grill, includes certificate of authenticity, and as a bonus there's a technical blueprint included. You've got the Star Trek badge just here, and you've got an image of the communicator open there, and it says includes 2 replaceable AA batteries. It's Collector Series Edition, and this is number 010446. It says warning contains small parts which may present a choking hazard to children under 3. And then you've got a nice big image of the communicator there, and just above that you've got an image of the Enterprise. And it says new actual lights and sounds from the original Star Trek TV show. It's got ages for one up top right hand corner, and a bottom right hand corner it says stock number 6117, and you've got the Playmates logo. Okay, so that's the front of the box. We're just going to spin the box round and let's see what we got printed on the back. Okay, so I've spun the box around, and there we can see the communicator in all its fabulous glory. I'm really excited about getting in the box on this one. But anyway, so it says Classic Star Trek Classic Communicator. It says to open the Classic Communicator, just grip the bottom, press the opening activation button and flip open the Metallized Antenna Grill. Press the frequency control or emergency signal button to activate the light up emergency indicator or the frequency control indicator with high frequency sound. And top right hand corner's got stock number 6117, ages 4 and up. And then the functionalities of the features of the communicator: speaker and microphone plate, power indicator, emergency indicator, frequency control indicator, flip up metallized antenna grill, hailing activation button, opening activation button, frequency control button, and the emergency signal button. And it says Captain's Log, Stardate 9404.01, Classic Communicator Unclassified. This is the first generation of subspace communication devices. The communicator's compact and lightweight design, along with its powerful range of 1,200 kilometers, made this communication device standard issue to all officers in Starfleet. This classic model was used for ground-to-orbit and global audio contact once aboard a starship. The main computer handled all interspace communications. Though this communicator was obsolete by 24th century standards, its simple design allowed for easy field maintenance and modifications. Of particular note are the manual dials which controlled emergency signals and frequency responses of the communicator. These manual overrides were later replaced by an internal sub-matrix processor. And we've got Playmates and the Paramount's logo at the bottom left hand corner. You've got all the copyright information just beside that. Proof of purchase and the barcode, and it says collect this other classic Star Trek accessory, which is the Classic Phaser. Okay, so that is the back of the box. Now, let's just drop the box down and have a look at the side, or the edge, or the top, whatever you like to call it. So it says Classic Star Trek, Classic Communicator, Starfleet Standard Communications Device. Includes 3 classic communicator sounds: opening activation sound, hailing and high frequency, working signal lights, flip up metallized antenna grill, includes certificate of authenticity, and a bonus technical blueprint included. New actual lights and sounds from the original Star Trek TV show, and stock number 6117, and the Playmates and Paramount logo, ages 4 and up. And if we go to the end, it's pretty much the same again. The Classic Star Trek, Classic Communicator, Starfleet Standard Issue device. Includes 3 classic communicator sounds: opening activation sound, hailing and high frequency working signal lights. Flip up metallized antenna grill, includes certificate of authenticity, and then you got a bonus technical blueprint included. Playmates and Paramount logo. New actual lights and sounds from the original Star Trek TV show. Stock number 6117. And yep, we got the same on the bottom and the same on the other side. Okay, so that is the box. I can't wait. So let's get it open and have a look at what we got inside. Okay, so I've removed the item from the box, and this is how it comes. So you've got the it was actually open inside the box, and with the obviously the buttons are on the section where you press, and I didn't actually do that inside, but I've done it here. You can hear they're working. So let me just pull off that bag which is covering the antenna, and let's have a proper look at the communicator. In actual fact, before we do that, let's have a look at what we got in here. So we've got the certificate of authenticity, which says Star Trek Classic Communicator contained in this collector's box. Is certificate as a special collector's issue with authentic sounds and lights from the classic Star Trek TV series. Each packet is individually numbered. Playmates Toys Inc. Paramount Pictures. Okay, I'm just going to try and... Okay, so it's only a piece of tape that's holding that closed. So let's leave the certificate in there and let's pull out what we got here. So let's just have a look at the blueprint. Okay, let's just zoom out a little bit so you can see all this. Classic Communicator. So the Classic Communicator uses a translator, which is the basis of all current circuitry design. With an effective range of 1,200 kilometers, the Classic Communicator was one of the most advanced pieces of field equipment for its time, capable of broadcasting and receiving on several channels simultaneously. The Classic Communicator can be linked up with most known forms of subspace communications. The simple design of the Classic Communicator makes it an easy piece of equipment to service and modify in the field. So you've got subspace field RF frequencies. You've got the casing and the antenna. Raising the antenna activates the communicator. A power cell, translator casing, antenna activation switch. Closed and opened. You've got indicator lights, emergency signal indicator, speaker microphone, channel switch, and transmit receive switch. And obviously you've got United Federation of Planets logo at either side of the where it says Classic Communicator. And it says this blueprint is a blueprint of the Classic Communicator based on Star Trek TV show and does not depict the actual function of the internal components of this toy. Playmates logo at the bottom, and then you've got all the Paramount information and the copyright information at the bottom there. Okay, so that's the blueprint, which is a nice little added touch. And here we have the operating instructions then of the communicator. So you've got the clip for the belt, you got where the batteries are, and it tells you what the buttons are. So let's have a look at it then. So it's quite a nice size one, this one. It's not a small communicator, it's a decent size. So we're looking at about 12 centimeters. Yeah, about 12 centimeters long, and about, what are we looking at? The widest point there is about 7 centimeters wide. Thickness wise, we're about 4 centimeters. We measure from the back of the clip to the top of the antenna. Now that's with it closed. If we open it up, so the full length of the communicator will be about 19 centimeters. So it's probably about in line with the ones they were using on the TV series. Okay, to flip it open. Okay, so let's just zoom out. Let's do that a little bit better. So you flip it open by doing that, and as you flip it open, I think you... So you... There you go. Flip it open and press the button at the same time, and that gives you the impression that it's being flipped open. That's you're being called. Your communicator is bleeping because someone's trying to get hold of you. And then of course we got the red light and the green light. The yellow light, I don't think does anything. Yeah, so it's only the red and the green light. That one is a... Yeah, so nothing else happens. Obviously you've got the belt clip there, which clips onto the belt. And just in here is the battery compartment. You slide it off. That's where the batteries go, or the power cells, as they like to call them in Star Trek. Okay, so that is the communicator. So that's the emergency light, emergency signal, and that's the frequency. It's a shame they didn't do anything with the third button. That's a bit of a disappointment, but there we are. And there's the speaker grill at the bottom there, and that old classic sound. Oh, lovely sound. And the beeping. Okay, that is the communicator. So how well did these do? Well, I can tell you for one thing, these items absolutely flew off the shelves when they first came out. We hadn't had a working communicator before. This was the first one that was produced, and when Playmates released it, this stock just flew off the shelf. We had the shop at the time, and the stock came in, and literally people were queuing up out the door to get these items. It was such a wonderful time for Star Trek and the Star Trek fans, because Playmates were just bombarding the toy shops with merchandise. So we had the phasers, we had the ships, we had the communicators. There was so much going on at the time, and this stuff was just flying off the shelf. The only trouble is that we couldn't get enough of it. So, you know, I think I can't remember how many cases of these came in, but they came in, and we unpacked most of them, put them on the shelf. The day we put them on and opened the doors, they sold. Everything went off the shelf. We kept some back, and for the next day we opened again with more on the shelf, and again the same thing happened. They sold out. And then of course we were stuck waiting for more stock, as Band-Aid then took I think about another 2 or 3 weeks before we managed to get any more. And obviously they still sold regularly and quite nicely until we couldn't get any more, which was a shame, because it was such a big demand. Like I say, this was the first real electronic communicator that had been released in, well, donkey's years. I can't even remember the last time. I think the previous one before that was the Amiga ones. But yeah, so it was the first communicator that was electronic communicator that was released from the Star Trek TV series. Obviously, since then they've done a few after that, and then more recently, they've reissued it in new packaging, slightly different, but not quite as good as this one. I think this is good because this is the first release. It always has a special place in my heart, and I think the first design was they made it a very, very good communicator. They did then do a few other ones. They did then do the one that the activation sound open when you flipped there was a button that would flip the antenna open, and the sound would come as it was flipped. And also there was a talkback one where you could program in your own voice, and as you spoke, it would answer you. But this was the very first one, and such a great design. And I can remember going to Star Trek conventions, and everybody had them, and they were clipped to everyone's belt, or they would hold them in their hands. Such a good item this was. So it was fabulously. It done absolutely brilliantly. Stock sold out, and you couldn't get any more, because obviously most of this stuff was only certain quantities were produced, and we just couldn't get enough in the UK. I don't know how it done in the States, but I can tell you for nothing, in the UK it was fabulous. Of course, now, what are we talking? We're talking 30 years on, exactly 30 years on, because it was released in 1994. Finding these communicators now, the original ones from 94, is very difficult. They do pop up from time to time. They do come on the platforms, and the value is not as high. They don't cost as much now as they did, say, 5 years ago before the reissue was released. that you were well over 100 quid for one of these then. But of course now they're a lot less than that, because the prices come down when the item was reissued by Playmates a few years ago. So, but the original ones, they don't really come up that often now. Most of what you find on the platforms are the later ones, the ones from 2022. Yeah, so finding these ones now, especially in the mint unopened condition as this one was before I took it out of the box, they're very difficult to find. But as usual, we at Midas Touch have managed to find quite a few of these, and they're currently available to purchase on the Midas Touch website, which you can get to quite simply by clicking the link below. It'll take you straight to the website where you'll be able to find this and many other vintage Star Trek items, and many other vintage toys, games and collectibles come to that. There's over 10,000 products currently available on the website for you to view and purchase at your leisure. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, because we're uploading videos for every new item that goes into the website. There will be something for everybody, and I am absolutely sure that you won't want to miss this, because we literally have thousands and thousands of new products which we're shooting videos for and uploading on a daily basis. So if there's something in particular you are looking for, something old that you've never been able to find, something quirky you might want to buy for a friend, or maybe just something from your childhood that you'd like to own again to help you recuperate those long lost childhood memories, well, stay tuned, keep watching, because you never know, the next item we upload could be that item you've been looking for. Okay, that is it for me on this particular item. I hope you've enjoyed reviewing this item with me. Thanks for watching, and we will see you again next time.